This video chart presentation of Lexicon Pharmaceuticals. It's a NASDAQ Global Market stock trading our ticker LXRX. It's a 9-month chart. You see the stock's been in a pretty steady uptrend from down under $1 to peak out at 328. A pullback that broke through the 50-day, which is a little bit of a concern for me, but it held a base right around $2.10. And the stock's back on a climb and trying to press on that 50-day moving average. With not a lot of resistance in sight to go up and potentially test these old highs, I think it's worth taking a look at the indicators and seeing if they're showing strong signs of momentum and trend to possibly give hints this push is going to continue. Now, we always talk about the MACD when it pulls back, wanting to see it hold above zero. Certainly didn't do that, dip below, but it's back on the rise and moving back towards that benchmark, often referred to as the money line, because when the 12 and 26 EMAs of the MACD push through zero, it's typically a bullish indication of trend for the chart. PPO following along that same path. ADX has dropped down very low. When the ADX starts to register a 10 or below, I look for some strength to be added to a direction. And that looks like what's happening in this case as well. ADX starting to put together a slight uptrend. Not really getting any hints from the positive and negative DI as to which direction is going to gain strength. The point being that it's in a position for us to try and put together a stronger move. This is a nice look to the MFIs. Nice upward channel. All three components over top of 50 now. Tells me people are starting to pay higher prices for the stock. Accumulation distribution. Long-term perspective. Great upward path. Fair amount of accumulation going on with this stock. Chaikin money flow in the green. Says that over the last 20 periods, buying pressure is outweighing selling pressure. CCI, that break of 100 was technically the buy point per this indicator, and holding over top of 100 keeps it in a hold position. A sell signal is not dropped until this indicator breaks back down through 100. Somewhat similar to the MFI, what it ultimately tells me is that people are paying higher prices. It's greater than the average 20-day mean. Full still pushed its way through 50. Nice little uptrend leading into it. Now holding over top of 50, says there's bullish momentum in this play. And the tricks, of course, it's a lagging indicator, but it dropped a bullish cross. And much like the MACD, breaking through zero is a bullish indication. RSIs, and all three components push through 50, right through that area. You can see a little bullish move that's come. Stock's gaining a little bit of momentum. And now I want to see them hold over top of 50. If they start to break back down through it, it's going to be a great sign of weakness and a potential that's going to come back down and test these old bottoms. And that's where I'd have to look for support again. Now, it's a strong area. If it doesn't hold that, it's kind of hard telling where it's going to go. It does pick up some more support down around this area from a static standpoint and from the dynamic 200-day moving average. So I think it's kind of at a make or break point right now to see if it's going to push through this resistance, shove its way back above the 50-day moving average, and continue this strength and momentum, and take trend indicators and shove them into bullish positions as well. Now, as I mentioned, there's not a lot of resistance in the way, perhaps a little bit right there around 280, but I wouldn't see a primary resistance coming in until up around these old highs at 328. Volume's good in this chart, 1.4 million shares traded, plenty of liquidity every day. I would like to see a volume surge right now to push back through the 50-day. It's much more bullish if you get strong volume with the resistance break. But all in all, it looks pretty good. I'd certainly have my eye first and foremost on this 250 area, and on a pullback, I'd look for that support level to hold. Perhaps a double bottom would form in that position, something like that. But right now, the eyes are on bullishness to see if it's going to continue the upward push. Those are the type of things that I'll be looking for in the LXRX chart. But as always, it's merely my interpretation. Thank you for watching, and trade smart.